So we have 12 minutes left. I have 12 questions. So quick 1-minute answers, no detail, because we want to get through all 12. People want to know your general response. What do you do? How do you prevent from breaking bones or having osteoporosis or any bone disease?
Weightlifting.
Weightlifting, resistant training.
Vegan diet.
With your opinion, not a fluff or not goodwill, the reality, how powerful is the mind and emotions on disease? Not some feel-good thing. What does the science really say about the real power of our minds on disease?
It's the most important aspect. It's what we use here first and foremost. And there's so much revelation and data and science on this today. You couldn't have a long enough life to read it all. Starting with my co-worker here, Dr. Rannicke, who worked with Dr. Carl Symington. Look at some of the new guys on this. Look at Bernie Siegel and the work that he did at Yale and then later on his own. The mind is powerful. Look at Dr. Larry Dosey and intent of spiritual intent and prayer. I mean, this just goes on and goes on. There's not a serious scientist today, a serious one, that doesn't look at this. If they're not talking about the mind and the importance of the mind, don't ever think that they know what's up. They're just out of the loop at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dr. Bruce Lipton's work is really helpful too, and there's many. It's true. It's yeah. I mean, it's the new. Really, it's actually ancient wisdom. It's finally beginning to crack the edifice of a science that's really in many ways ignored this basic truth for too long.
Should everyone take alpha lipoic acid?
I'm a major fan of alpha lipoic acid. Our partner on campus, IVs it, and what it does to the immune system is spectacular. It's a protein they found initially in yeast in Italy, and it activates eosinophils, basophils, and neutrocytes, the fighters and killer cells of the immune function.
Should everyone take magnesium supplement?
If you're not eating lots of raw almonds, and if you're in America, you're probably not. They've cooked and irradiated the almonds now. Magnesium is a very important one. It relaxes the muscle, and your heart happens to be a muscle. Something I take every day, although I don't need it.
You've talked about concerns with fruit. How do ripe tomatoes fit into the plan?
Tomatoes are one of the best fruits on the planet Earth. It contributes to cardiovascular health, prostate cancers, and swollen prostate and breast cancers. Amazing. Lycopene is in there. Brilliant work that's been done on that all over the world. And I'm a major fan of it. So one of the very first fruits I'm going to tell you to eat, a ripe organic tomato when you're told not to eat fruit for a while.
Rich in glutathione.
Very rich in glutathione.
How do potatoes, for people who are not going to be raw, how do potatoes, red, white, purple potatoes fit into your plan? Or any plan?
Very sorry, Dr. McDougall. White potatoes are not healthy for you. When you cook a white potato, they're pretty much all starch. You look at nightshade families. I happened to go to Rutgers University in 1971 and met the guy that was doing the research there. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't ask the right questions, and not a great thing. Sweet potatoes, yams, totally different, great foods for you. You can eat sugars because they're high in sugar.
Should everyone take flower or bee pollen? Doesn't it have sugar in it?
No. Flower and bee pollen has minimal amounts of sugar, like a red pepper would have. It's something that Anna Marie and I take every single day. Really, really pure vegans would never take a bee pollen because the bees are abused in it. I may say this is one of the abbreviations I make myself because nutritionally, they have approximately the same amount, about 5% difference in flower pollen. But flower pollens are collected by human hands. The best one is called ceratine. It's out of Sweden.
Cernitol.
Cernitol.
And it really helps with the prostate balance and I mean testosterone balance, and especially for prostate.
Yeah, look at it. Look at some authorities on this. It's just amazing. There's about 2.5 pages of what's in it now. Every year they find 5 more things that's in a bee pollen.
Should everyone take an ionic form of zinc? And what does ionic mean?
If you're going to take zinc, Ionic forms or any other mineral. If you look at the advice from the US government 4 Christmases ago, they told women, stop taking calcium supplements. Why? Not because they became nice people all at once. They were paying about $9 billion a year for women who had stroke who had no insurance. So why? Because they grind up oyster shells that are not calcium you can use, or eggshells, or even worse than that, chalk, which gives you cancer. And so you cannot use it. Ionic means electrically charged. Every single mineral and every single living plant is electrically charged. And how it really absorbs, you can get into detail with some of the things I've done on The Real Truth About Health before, is that there's an electromagnetic connectivity between the human cell electron and the food itself, and the real absorption comes through living food. When you cook a food, and this is where I would like to have debates with some of my colleagues who think cooked food just so wonderful for you, you basically don't have that ability to absorb it at a deep level. And most of the nutrient and ionic frequency is gone.
Should everyone take Ionic selenium? Where do you get these type of minerals?
The company out of San Diego, the Eden, E-D-I-O-N company, I think they helped to sponsor The Real Truth for a couple of years, is the one we found to be best. Inexpensive, very, very effective. They mimicked exactly what you see in these plants, the living plants. And I can tell you something, selenium is not in any of the foods anymore. The best case scenario is you have to add selenium into your organic soil to even get it. And very few people do that.
Isn't it in Brazil nuts?
You get some in Brazil nut, but when they tested Brazil nut, only 2 out of 10 have high amounts of it.
Should we avoid airplanes due to the radiation that you're exposed to?
Well,
and how do you minimize the radiation if you have to fly?
If I said yes, I'd be a hypocrite. I've been really healthy the last year. I haven't been doing too much flying, but you can't avoid radiation in a plane. You get cosmic radiation. Worst time is to fly during the day, when I always flew. So I don't want to fly overnight and be spaced out when I'm doing lectures the next day. And so you can wear around your neck something that Anna Marie and the Germans put together called high pulse. You can also wear around your neck a personalized oxygen machine. And Anna Maria fixes this to her body every single day. We've never closed. We have people coming in. Everyone's tested here at Hippocrates. We're filled with guests right now from all over. And the reality is you can wear that. That helps the oxygen level stay up. And we also put silver up our nose every hour, 2 puffs up each nostril, suck in, 2 puffs down the throat to keep the infection rate down, because they recycle the air for the last 10 years on planes and evenly distribute disease and disorder.
Are hot peppers good for us? What about really hot peppers?
Depends upon what they are. Some of them have aggravants in it. Cayenne pepper is a hot pepper, excellent for you. Matter of fact, it helps your blood. It helps circulation. It actually moves through the capillaries, which are where 74% of all the blood moves through, these really invisible microscopic capillaries, more blood flow. So really great thing. But jalapenos, on the other hand, have an oil in it that can be an aggravant for people.
What is gluten, and should we be avoiding it? Everyone talks about being gluten-free.
Gluten's a protein within grains, and the body has an allergic reaction to it. And although I don't agree with most of what Dr. Gungridge says, he's right on this. And the reality is the body's reactive to it. When you and I were kids and we were in school, plaster of Paris was gluten. So when we made those statues and little things that we put together, homes, etc., that was gluten you were making. Can you imagine what that does in the intestinal tract? And the body doesn't know how to deal with that. Going back to what I said with the work of Dr. Leakey, a legitimate anthropologist who did the work necessary to show we were plant eaters. We weren't hunters, we were plant eaters. He basically shows you, by the way, we weren't even eating grains for most of the time. The only time we ate grains, nuts, beans, and seeds was when there were droughts. The rest of the time we ate vegetables and fruits. That was our primary diet.
Should we?
Also, I just want to say a lot of people have a problem with wheat because it's sprayed with Roundup. And it's just, the glyphosate is used as a desiccant, and it's just sprayed, even though it's not genetically engineered. It's sprayed, and so people are eating all this glyphosate, and that's destroying our microbiome, because glyphosate is a broad spectrum antibiotic itself. And so the people that say, "Oh, I can't eat this; it makes me feel sick," it's also possibly the glyphosate load that they're eating if it's not organic.
Absolutely.
Should we take DHEA if we are low in it?
If you want it, the one who makes it the best is one of our alumni who healed herself here, and that's Heather Mills. It's out of England. So look up Heather Mills. She makes the cleanest, purest DHEA. Almost all other companies have accelerants in it and different chemicals they extract with it, and not so good for you. One other company is out of Norway. Make sure you get the right one, not the fish oil variety they make, unfortunately. It's called Zino, Z-I-N-Z-I-N-O, which is DHEA. Or, by the way, algae within themselves inherently have DHEA in it.
Okay. I'd like for each of you to give a 30-second closing, please.
Dr. Tuttle?
All right. Well, when I heard this was going to be like 2.5 hours, I thought, man, that's a long time. But the time has flown by.
Now we need another 2.5.
And it's been really enlightening and a great pleasure. And thank you, Steve. Thank you so much to the wonderful directors of Hippocrates Health Institute. And thank you, everyone, for your attention. Go forth and multiply this message. It's really critical. All this information is really important. Thank you for the opportunity. And please come by our website, worldpeacediet.com, please. Thanks.
Yeah, get Will Tuttle's book about the peace diet. It's wonderful. So I want to thank you. I want to thank Stephen Shore for making this possible, and everybody behind you there too. It's an honor to be on this program, and anybody that has questions, of course, can follow us on our website too. And we love to help everybody. We love to make sure that we can create balance. If there are questions about anything that we talked about tonight, then we can clarify it, because this is so important for us. This is the future of humans. This is a future of our earth. And, this is much bigger than all of us. But I think this is a program, this is a way that we can share it. And I'm really grateful.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I want to start by telling you, Stephen, maybe in the deepest way I've ever done in all the years I've known you, what admiration and respect I have for you. I know I've had the great privilege to know a lot of really important and famous people in my life. I'm married to a woman I have enormous respect for, and I thank God every day. She's my wife, and she's the mother of my children and the co-director of Hippocrates. But I can tell you, there's very few people like you on the planet Earth. That you're an extraordinary human being to do what you've done for 8 years and to make this information available and to bring together people who really, really want to help is exceptional. And I'm just so proud to call you a friend. I'm proud of you as a human being. And if everyone can just look at you and practice a little bit of what you're doing, we'd all be a hell of a lot better off. So thanks for bringing, once again, the 8th year now, the real truth about health. Thanks for bringing us all together. Dr. Tuttle, who has become certainly a major part of our family here and our visiting faculty member. And thank to all of you listening all over the world, and recognize that fear is what makes you sick. So eliminate fear, gain knowledge, try the things that resonate with you. And before you know it, you're going to be playing a concert in life that's going to even fool you. God bless all of you, and thanks for being here with us tonight.
One more thing, Will, if people want to follow up with you and get in touch with you, say again slowly how people follow up with you, get in touch with you, and see what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. It's just worldpeacediet.com or my name, willtuttle.com. You have there our videos, our schedule, articles, everything. Yeah, you can right there, willtuttle.com or worldpeacediet.com.
And Brian, Anna Marie, if someone wants to learn more about Hippocrates Health Institute, if people want to visit, if they want a phone consultation, if they want to learn more about what you do, how would they follow up with you?
Books, So we have a lot of offerings here. So you can get on the internet and look us up. It's HippocratesInstitute.org. We're a nonprofit. So it's HIPP, like Paul, OCRATES. HIPPOCRATES. And then, of course, Institute, INSTITUTE.org. And you can look into our online offerings, our on-campus offerings, everything from weight regulation programs to comprehensive cancer programs, to sleep programs, to advanced transformational programs, to psychotherapy programs. And we welcome anyone that wants to join the human race. Boy, we need some members at this point.